Hi, it's me, Pam. Have you ever looked at your life and thought, what's happening? Because what's happening isn't lining up with what you prayed for. But here's the thing, trust doesn't require understanding. Remember in Proverbs it says, trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding? That means trust begins where understanding ends. If we could fully explain it, we wouldn't need trust. And this is where many of us get stuck. We're waiting for clarity before we surrender. But God is asking for surrender before clarity. God's perspective is bigger than ours. In Isaiah, it says, for my thoughts are not your thoughts, neither are your ways my ways. What feels confusing to us is not confusing to God. And what feels like delay might actually be protection. Think about Joseph. He was betrayed and sold and forgotten. If we dropped into his story in the middle, we would think that God had abandoned him. But looking back, we see God was positioning him. And that's attention. We're living in the middle of a story that only makes sense from the end. Trust is built in the tension. Anyone can trust God when things make sense. Real trust is built when prayers go unanswered and life doesn't follow our plan. That's when faith becomes real, not when we feel confident, but when we choose obedience anyway. Trusting God doesn't mean we stop asking questions. It means we stop requiring answers before we obey. It looks like taking the next step without seeing the whole path and choosing peace, even when nothing has changed. If you're in a season where nothing makes sense, this is where your faith is being formed. So today, don't wait for understanding. Choose trust. Until next time, bye.